Yes, I got the host access. Now I will share my screen. So thanks for joining the demo one on DevOps with AWS on Linux platform. Let me share my screen first and then let us start for today. Okay. So you joined here for the demo that is on the DevOps with AWS on Linux. So the purpose of this demo is to explain like how the course has been designed. First of all, how this DevOps with cloud DevOps with cloud will accelerate your career, how it will help to your career, what are all the today's opportunities, what exactly the tools or maybe the technologies we have to focus on to become a DevOps engineer or to become a cloud engineer. So that is what I would like to give you the a brief overview about this DevOps engineer job roles, DevOps engineer job opportunities, and who can become a DevOps engineer. Why the people are using the DevOps. So many things are coming, right? So many things are coming. Like what is this what is this DevOps, and then who will use this web app? Who will use this DevOps and all? Okay, so before going to start, what is DevOps? Before going to start, what is DevOps? Let us discuss some general things about the DevOps. Just let me take one new Word document. Right. So DevOps introduction or DevOps demo one. DevOps with AWS demo one. Let me just take DevOps with AWS on Linux platform. Okay, fine. First of all, what is this DevOps is? Before discussing what is this DevOps is, why we should have to learn this DevOps? Not only DevOps, DevOps with one cloud. DevOps with one cloud. Any one of the cloud is mandatory. Why we need to learn this DevOps first? What is the problem? Meaning, why the industries are using nowadays the DevOps in their projects? No matter what is the company it is, what is the size of the company it is, everyone is using the DevOps. First of all, let me introduce you about this course. Course duration is 4 months. Course fee is 12K INR, and access will be given for the videos, recorded videos. Access will be given for the recorded videos with the 8 months validity. With the
So
8 months validity.
at least minimum 1 year should be there, no, sir?
No, actually, some other institutes are giving just 3 months validity.
Oh, is
Just
it?
3 months. Just 3 months validity. Some other institutes are giving.
Okay.
And they are asking extra 3,000 for the additional lifespan. But here I have taken into two. 4 months is your complete your batch, and again 4 more months. If let us say I will take 4.5 months to complete your validity for the one more 4.5 months, because you have to revision and then
Correct,
All
sir.
the times while attending the sessions may not be possible to revision, isn't it?
Yes,
That
yes, yes, yes.
that is the reason. That is the reason. Into 2 times I am giving the access, meaning I requested the our DurgaSoft team to give the access. However, what you will get, soft copy of the material you will get, soft copy of the material. This is no, restriction on this soft copy of the material. You can download and then keep it with you, and you will be provided with a Google Classroom access. Google Classroom access for 8 months. How long your recordings are valid? Till the time the Google Classroom access will be provided. So
Okay.
how the Google Classroom access will be, let me just showcase that Google Classroom, how it will be. We will maintain our notes and all there. So let me close other tabs. Yes, leave. Yeah, so this is what the classroom, like, DevOps 2, DevOps 3, DevOps 1, like that. This is DevOps 1. So Google Classroom is created where every material, notes and all will be posted here, like lab guides, architectural documents and all will be posted here. So this uh, Google Classroom access will be for 8 months, like whatever your course into 2 is the validity, and you can download the materials at any moment of time.
Okay.
But the videos are not downloadable, not shareable. Whereas the material you can download and you can share also. Whatever you want, you can do this with material. Fine. Okay, good. Now let us go to the overview. Why is this? First of all, let me type, whatever. Access recorded videos with 8 months validity, soft copy of the material, Google Classroom access with the 8 months validity is what you will get. Okay, and after this, how many projects you will do? So a total of 5 projects you will do. A total of 5 projects. In this total of 5 projects, projects you will do here is one static website hosting. You can see that here in the handout, whatever I have shared. Just see, this is the lab guide one, static website hosting. Similarly, we have the lab guides for these 5 projects. I can showcase you. Yes, lab guide 1, lab guide 2 is the Node.js application, lab guide 3 React.js, lab guide 4 Java application, lab guide 5 microservices, lab guide 6 Python application. A total of 6 projects you will do here. See this? What is the workflow and what are the concepts will be covered, and each and every concept, how to do it, meaning how to set up this pipeline is what a step-by-step screenshot manner the handout will be, lab handout will be provided to you. So these lab handouts you have to follow and then do the applications. Okay, what we will do, what applications we will do in this DevOps, any coding is required, nothing. I'll explain what we're going to do in this DevOps. I'll explain. But first, let me introduce you the course structure and all. Okay.
So these projects is the end of the course or in the between of the course also we are going to.
Between, we will learn the concept on the projects.
Okay.
On the projects.
Okay.
For example, there is a concept called passwordless authentication. There is a concept called publish over SSH plugin and SSH connectivity between the machines. So these concepts, every project, we will use these concepts. So every project, meaning, for example, Java deployment application, if you can take. So add-on concept, if you can see this in Java, more concepts we will learn. See this. This is the Java project thing. So here more concepts about the Jenkins we will learn. Meaning handout to hand, lab guide to lab guide, the concepts will be increased and then the concepts we will learn on the projects only, so that we'll get a complete end-to-end picture, like what we are doing and how we are doing. Fine. So let me, these projects will be given to you. The source codes are also given in this lab guides. If you can see, every lab guide is attaching with the source code URL, where the source code is, and then how that source code will be taken and all is given with this step-by-step approach. How to create the Jenkins jobs and everything I have given step by step. I'll explain about this lab guides going on time. So project static website, and then a Node.js application deployment, Node.js application deployment, and then the React.js application deployment, and then the fourth project is Java application deployment, and fifth project is microservices deployment. This is what your future, this is what your career, microservices deployment. Very, very important. Nowadays, everyone is asking about the microservices architectures. DevOps engineers are also facing the interview questions on this microservices architectures. I'll explain later in time. So microservices deployment, and then finally the Python project. Here deployment, what I mean to say is a CI/CD. So let me replace the word called deployment with CI/CD. So CI/CD, microservices CI/CD, and then Python project CI/CD. What is this CI/CD is, again I'll explain. So this is what you will do, and complete source code repository, access what the access you will get: recorded videos, soft copy, Google Classroom access, and source code repository access. So these are all what you will get as an access during this course. Of course, once after your course is also done, with the validation of uh, uh, few more days, this will be given. Okay, so that's all about this course content.
What about AWS account information, sir?
Yes, I'll provide that. I'll explain. So DevOps.
AWS.
So Ansible is not there, sir?
AWS is there. I'll provide. Meaning I'll explain. Meaning I have not started the course content explanation, right?
Okay.
So let
The Ansible.
I'll explain. Our Ansible, whatever is there, I'll explain. The tools, whatever DevOps tools, I'll explain. AWS services, I'll explain what we will do. Okay.
So is DevOps with AWS on Linux is available, or else do we have anything on Windows also?
No, DevOps with AWS on Linux. Why? Because real platforms, production platforms are all on Linux platforms because of the security. If it is Windows, maybe we might encounter like the viruses and all, but the Linux kernel is so strong enough that it won't allows the or trojans, malwares, viruses, it will filter. And also it have a robust security mechanism, like no one can access the files until unless they have the proper permissions. So these are the reasons why we will go for the Linux platform. Okay, now what are
so you mean to say in the market all the projects are running based on Linux itself?
on Linux platform? On Linux platform only all the projects are deploying.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
So DevOps tools.
And Narsi, this is Virendra. See here, I'm from the background of the middleware technologies. Okay, all the middleware technologies. Okay, we have now the expectation from the clients or the customers, like to do a DevOps migration from the middleware to the AWS. Like, are those concepts will be covered in this course?
Right. So those concepts will be covered in this course. Middleware, in the sense, maybe some servers, right?
Yeah.
Here, what
WebSphere, because whatever the infrastructure we built on the
correct.
the WebSphere or the MQ or the data
Hmm.
power, whatever the web service calls, we initiate from the data power. Okay, those would be deployed, or those would be residing on the AWS or the Azure cloud. Okay, those concepts, because whatever the nodes or the parts are the slaves, how we build those slaves, and what is auto scaling things, and how we configure the auto scaling things. Those are because all those concepts related to the infra. Are those concepts will be covered under this course, or like it would be on different things again?
Okay, so let me first explain. Okay, all those concepts will be covered here. Here we will use the Kubernetes cluster and all the, okay, let me first explain the microservices I told, right? The fifth project. So let me take the cloud architecture first. This is, let it come actually. Let it come. Yes. This is what the cloud architecture, microservices architecture. Now, if you can see here, these are all now on the AWS. What we will do is we will automate these services using the DevOps. So if you can see, Redis cache is there, RabbitMQ, Kafka, Zipkin, Grafana, ELK, and then the microservices, discovery server, gateway, right? So here load balancers are there. Load balancers are there to manage the load among them. Security, IAM is there, right? So this is what the microservices architecture, where finally we will deploy. Meaning these microservices, what we will do is we will automate. So how do we automate? Like this. Each and every microservice will be automated using the CI/CD process. So
Okay.
microservices are
Yeah, Narsi, because in this architecture, exactly, because see, you were saying that this architecture would be lying or residing before the middleware products, or it would be residing in inner side of the middleware products. Because we will be using web servers, it moves to the app server from the database, and whatever the web service call, we will be using third parties. Here, exactly where exactly the DevOps comes into picture, and how we are using those things, because that is what I want to understand. Because when I want to migrate myself into as a cloud engineer, or as a DevOps engineer, that could you please explain me more in detail what where exactly it resides the things?
sure. Sure. I'll explain. Okay. First of all, these are what the applications. Applications are using their own server and then connecting to the different databases. Now, what we will do is we will deploy it in the cluster, Kubernetes cluster. So how that Kubernetes cluster is, let me showcase the final production architecture. I think here it is. So let us go and then let me showcase you the final production architecture. So this is the final production architecture. Now in this final production architecture, if you can see, this is a Kubernetes cluster. So when coming to the Kubernetes cluster, here application plus application connecting to the database, and also application having its server. Three things: application connecting to the DB, and application running in the server. These are three things will be deployed in this Kubernetes cluster. Okay, let me take one example. One example in the sense, one use case. Assume there is a WSO2 is one IAM server. WSO2 is one IAM server, which is running on its own. Or else let us take one application. Let's say app one is application. it is running on JBus. It will be running JBus, just assume. Now this app one is connecting to the MySQL database. Okay, then what we will do is first, we will write the Docker, we will create a Docker image for this application and then the web server or the application server. We'll build the Docker images. And for the database also we'll build the Docker image. So for the database also we'll build the Docker images. Now these Dockerized images will be deployed in our production, meaning in our Kubernetes cluster. In this cluster, the Dockerized images will be deployed as a Kubernetes parts. Now what will happen? The communication, how the communication will be happen now? In order to do a communication, there is a concept of the service discovery. So that service discovery concept of the Kubernetes will be used, and then the one application to another application communication will be happened. Okay, using the Kubernetes service discovery, the concept of Kubernetes service discovery and then network. Okay, here what we will do, we will automate the applications, application servers and application database to deploy in the Kubernetes cluster. Now, how we will automate? So how we will automate is, let me showcase the DevOps course content. In the DevOps course content, I have drafted a pipeline flow. Let me showcase that pipeline flow. So scroll down. This is what the pipeline flow we will do. That means each and every application code will be inside this Git repository. That code will be taken by the Jenkins. It will build and then prepare an artifact, and that artifact using by the Docker machine, and then the Docker image will be built here with its dependencies like server, runtime, and it's a database. So those images will be prepared here and then uploaded to the container registry. Then from the container registry, the Kubernetes architecture will look up for the images in the container registry and then deploy in its cluster. Cluster with the master, and then the worker nodes in the master slave architecture replication. Got it? Huh? This is what the overview, like how we will do here. Got it, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is cloud engineer, right? So what is the difference between cloud engineer and data engineer?
Cloud engineer, data engineer,
Yeah.
purely different terms actually. Cloud engineer meaning cloud engineer no need to do with the DevOps activity. Okay, let me plug in my charger just in a moment. Okay, so cloud engineer is no need to do all these things. Cloud engineer is not a DevOps engineer. Cloud engineer is different. DevOps engineer is different. DevOps engineer requires the cloud experience or knowledge. If the cloud engineer,
No, it's cloud engineer and data engineer, I was asking.
correct. First, let me explain the cloud engineer versus DevOps engineer. Cloud engineer, data engineer. Data engineer might be, first of all, these designations or roles are specific to company to company. There is no general term the industry will use for one role. However, if we take a cloud engineer will be responsible for the cloud infrastructure automation. Cloud infrastructure automation. That means whatever the cloud, maybe AWS, maybe Azure, maybe GCP, whatever the cloud it is, he has to automate the cloud infrastructure only. And then data engineer responsibility is to protect the data, replicate the data across the multiple clusters. And cloud engineer will make sure the data, meaning cloud engineer will make sure the infrastructure will be set up with the disaster recovery. There is a concept called disaster recovery. I think this is a demo one. So you guys are asking the high level things, maybe others are dropping, but however, let me explain this in the coming up sessions. But as the question asked, the answer is data engineer will take care about the data replication, data integrity, data security over the clusters. Over the clusters meaning what? One cluster we always set up in the current production, and then always another cluster will be set up in the DR, disaster recovery. Now the DR data and then the cluster data, both should have to be synced together. So data integrity, data consistency, meaning the data security. Data also should have to be flown in the encryption model. So there are data encryption models are there actually. So data should have to be flown in the encryption model. The database should have to have the encrypted data only. So if that is the case, how the data is replicating? Maybe I am talking a very high level. Folks may not get it. Just let me try to draw an architecture. Just in case to give you the overview, like how the data engineer and then how the cloud engineers will be. Okay, assume now this is one of my cluster. This is my production cluster, prod cluster. Always when we set up the prod cluster, always we also have to set up the DR, disaster recovery. Assume this prod cluster I deployed in the Mumbai region. DR I will keep in the other region just to make sure my application will be work in case of any disasters will be happen, natural disasters will be happen to this Mumbai data center. Though the disasters will be occurred, the data should be still there and then application will be still work. So let us say I have deployed, I set it up in the Ohio region. Okay, now who will set up these clusters? Cloud engineers. Fine. Now there are databases, isn't it? RDS and any other. Maybe we can use the RDS. So yes, assume this is the database. So this is the database it is using. Now data engineers will make sure that databases replication. That means the data of one database should have to replicate it to another database. And with the desired state, there is a concept called desired state. That means how many number of instances of the databases we should be maintained for the incoming request load and all. Now, whatever the main cluster is saving the data into these databases, right? Similarly, the DR cluster also should have to save the data into these prod clusters. Now, these databases will be kept inside these databases will be kept inside the Mumbai region here. So this is the Mumbai region databases, whereas these are all the databases that are there in the Ohio region. This is the Ohio region dataset. Now, whether the data is saved or created through the DR, that will be synced to this as well. That will be synced to this database as well. So there is a concept called database master to master, slave to slave synchronizations. So data engineers will ensure that data will be replicated, data will be integrated, and data will be secured. That is the job of the data engineers. Whereas the cloud engineers will set up these infrastructures, cloud infrastructures. Got it? Is it clear now? Okay. If this is true, got it right? Any questions? Okay.
Yeah,
However,
I got it. Thank you.
yes, yes. Now let us see what is this course contents is and what are the DevOps tools we will use here. Okay, who can learn the DevOps? First of all, who can learn the DevOps? Who can learn the DevOps? Anyone who want to, anyone who are already in IT career but would like to get more opportunities, more career growth. So they can learn this DevOps, and who are now doing non-IT jobs, and wants to start IT career. So those can take this course. And who don't have the programming knowledge or programming skill, who don't have the programming technology like Java, Python, programming technology or programming language, right? Language, knowledge or experience. Those also can take this course. Who can take? Anyone can take the DevOps with AWS course. Who already in IT career but would like to get more career growth. Maybe Java developer is there. They don't know how the deployments will be, how the production deployments will be. So if they know, if they attend this DevOps, CI/CD, DevOps course and all, they came to know how the CI/CD and how the application will be deployed in real productions and all. They came to know. Next, who are now doing non-IT jobs and wants to start IT career, maybe medical reps or some marketing jobs or some HR things on HR in the sense non-IT HRs will be also there, right? Human resource. So whoever want to start their IT career, they can take this course. And who don't have the programming language or technology or experience, those also can take.
So
and
the first point which you're talking about, we are having experience in the let's say manager level example. In this manager level, just they want to know what's going on, because we are in the backlog on this DevOps or the latest
Correct.
technology occurs.
Correct.
It helpful this one, because
100%.
just to manage to the team or to understand that the features, we are not really want to as a developers or some here.
Understood. 100% it will be help, because you guys will get the end-to-end knowledge, like what happens with the developer.
Correct.
And when the DevOps engineers will come exactly, and what they will do, and where the cloud infrastructure will come. And also, once after done this course, I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to give a suggestions as well. Like, why can't we take this Ansible here? Why can't we take the Kubernetes cluster here? Why can't we take the, Docker here? Such a suggestions also you guys can give, because, the course, how I will deal is the pure real-time parity, pure realistical, and then every concepts will learn on the practical implementation of it. No, I mean, theory discussions will be there, but the theory discussions also will be covered on top of the practical thing. So 100% will be helpful.
Okay, okay. Because we are in the more experience in the system, just we want to know the future, and just we can provide the suggestions to them, but we cannot go and sit and do these jobs actually.
That's true. That's true. And definitely this is required course for the managers and managers level or all, because sometimes managers also will be as part of the technical discussions, isn't it?
Yes.
But ideally managers will sit and then listen what the tech guys are saying. Rather, we also have to be in a position to guide them or suggest to them. So why can't we think in this way, or why can't we do in this way? So that questioning also we can do.
Yes.
Because meaning we require to have the experience on end-to-end things, at least the knowledge on end-to-end things.
Yes.
So that knowledge or experience 100% you guys will get here. Okay.
Thank you.
So prerequisite, no prerequisite is required is what all the Amirpet folks will do. But ideally speaking, Linux is required. Linux is required. But that Linux will cover here. That is the reason no prerequisite is what we will mention usually. So no prerequisite is required is false. Linux is required. But this Linux we will cover as part of the course. So ideally, don't know the Linux also happily attend these sessions, because first the Linux will be started and then the DevOps tools will be started. So prerequisite is no prerequisite required, Linux is required. Both are contradictory statements, but yes, Linux is what we will cover from the basics of the Linux, scratch of the Linux. That is the reason no prerequisites is required. Okay, so this is about the course, how I was designed and all. And tomorrow we will see the DevOps course content and then the AWS course content. And what is the outcome? What is the outcome of this course? What is the outcome of this course? Meaning how you will get benefited after learning, meaning once after completed this course, what you will get benefited, like not DURGASOFT certificate and all I'm talking about. I'm talking about technically where you will be. So those things we will discuss tomorrow, meaning the production architecture, what we're going to set up using the AWS. And in that production architecture, how the scalability, how the security, how the replications, all these things, how we will implement, and CI/CD, how automation is what we will include, we'll discuss tomorrow. So that's all for today. DevOps course content and then the AWS course content I'll explain tomorrow. And also we will see the expectation. What is the expectation goal of this course? That goal finally we need to achieve. Any questions for me?
Any regular classes when you is going to start, sir?
Yes, regular classes only now started at 8:15, right? So
Timings?
8:15.
Can you please change the evening time?
No.
Evening time already my slots are there. They are going on now actually. 7 p.m. one DevOps is going on. 8 p.m. one DevOps.
That is okay, sir. But I am a Spring Boot and microservice class I am doing. But I am also interested on this course also. So
Okay.
the continue is going on, but can't to gap I wanted.
Okay. Actually, this is designed to have now at 8:15, and after 20 days or after 30 days, it will be moved back to again 7 a.m. The same course is moved back to 7 a.m. But for now, at least coming 20 days, it will be at 8:15 a.m. Okay.
So
Okay,
what
sir.
is it?
Can you? Okay, sir. Can you please reduce the fees from 10,000?
That's okay. Those things, meaning those things talk to backend team. As you already have taken many courses of mine, maybe they will definitely they definitely will consider that. Just talk to them and then let me know. If I will be able to do any help, I can do that.
Sir, is it daily classes?
Daily classes from 8:15 a.m. to 9 a.m. let us conduct for coming 15 to 20 days.
Mhm.
After that, let us start at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. to 8:30. 1.5 hour session let us take every day.
What about Saturday, Sunday also, or
No Sunday, and classes will be from the Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday, 1.5 hour session? daily?
1.5 hour. Yes, no classes on Sunday.
Okay. This is 4 months course, right?
4 months course. Yes, this is a
Oh.
4 months course. And tomorrow we get more clarity why it will take 4 months. I will split the
Mhm.
course content and then
Mhm.
let you know, guys, how it will take 4 months.
Hey, actually, I
Sir,
was thinking you have a 2 month course. So, is there any possibility for 2 months?
2 months actually, if we can spend some time in weekends, longer sessions like on Saturdays and Sundays, we can definitely take it up to 3 months, not 2 months, because concepts are very vast, and the concepts Kubernetes and then Docker, these two will take around 45 days around. That means, see, out of these 120 days, 45 days went for only Docker and Kubernetes. And AWS will take again 30 days to 45 days. That means what? 30 days if we take, or Docker and Kubernetes 30 days if we can take max. 60 days is going for only the cloud and then the Docker Kubernetes. Then we have only remaining 60 days to set up this CI/CD pipeline and all, isn't it? But AWS will take around 45 days. Docker and Kubernetes will take around 30 to 35 days.
Sir, quick question. Are we covering Grafana DLK?
Yes,
Test?
those are all, yes. Those are all we are covering. However, about the course content, I'll explain tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm stopping my screen share as I have to jump to another session. See you tomorrow.
So what is the meeting ID for the 9 a.m. thing, the AWS that we gonna start now?
Meeting ID. Can you quickly call back to team, because the meeting ID they usually will send a link to me, so I will click on that link and then log in.
So even we also don't know, sir. At least you should inform to us who was joined today.
That is true.
Yeah,
That
because
is
I joined recently. Yeah, I didn't get any. The videos are shared to me. The recorded videos are shared, but I didn't get the meeting invitation or something.
Let me quickly check the DevOps with AWS. Let me quickly check AWS. You mean 9 a.m. or AWS is going on 8 p.m. also?
8 p.m. But I thought of joining in the morning.
Okay. Otherwise, can you call to the backend team just in case?
Sir, can you mention the number, sir, here, or can you post it?
I'm just looking
If
at.
possible.
What about, sir, if I have any doubt and during the practice, if anyone can help us?
Yes. Actually, Telegram link is what we are creating. So in that Telegram link, I will be available to you guys.
Okay, can help any doubts or something.
Yes,
Or
yes,
faculty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, folks. I have to rush to another session. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.